Welcome into the Oklahoma's video studio. Dave Morris here. Time for some river sport adventures alongside this gentleman right here, Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. The weather's warmer out there. It almost feels like spring.
It's time to go rafting.
That's
yeah,
right.
Everyone should be gearing up. Yes, we are. We're certainly gearing up. Season's right around the corner.
It's one of the things we will chat about. Things get cracking officially March 17th. That's right, Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, which is just weeks away. We'll talk about some of the preparation and all the things going into getting your facility up and running, but there's also a few other things to chat about. We have, as you mentioned, rafting, whitewater rafting, and some dragon boat leagues, including the Wise Dragons. We have training with Barry Switzer and his wife about turning dogs into search and rescue. There's a conference going on with that, Floodwater Rescue Conference, and then the opening. You mentioned rafting off the top. Let's start right there. You have leagues starting up.
We do. We have the whitewater rafting. It's the corporate league, but it's for anybody, any group, any civic group or church group. You can come out and you come out one day a week, and it's a whole lot of fun with your group, and you're building towards a competition which will occur at the Stars and Stripes River Festival this summer in June. And we have another league that goes through our Regatta Festival in end of September. But these leagues start up early May, and again, you come out one day a week, and you're learning all kinds of whitewater techniques, but ultimately you're going to race down those channels. It is a blast. People have a lot of fun. We've had a lot of that league continues to grow every season, and then its complement to that league would be the Dragon Boat League, which is some people even do both, and that is very similar. Come out one practice a week, 90 minutes, and these dragon boats, we've talked about these before, but they're like giant canoes, and they're really great because they don't require any pre-existing skill or knowledge in terms of we teach you the basics of obviously paddling, but it's really more about just working together as a team. So you can really just jump in and go, but you have to get the cadence down. In fact, there's a critical member of your team is the drummer, is the person that sets the beat, and they sit up on a little seat, and everyone paddles to the beat of the drum, and that's a lot of fun. So there's really something for everyone, all skill levels. And then you'd mentioned the Wise Dragons, which is our league for 60 years old and up. So senior dragon boat league, and again, that's been very popular and growing. It really represents how there's something for all age categories and groups in the Boathouse District, and we've got groups that come down every week, different senior groups, and they get in those boats and they go, and it's a great social activity. But it's a great way to stay healthy, stay in shape. It's a sport that you can continue to do, and at all ages, and low impact, but a lot of fun. And we're just getting great reviews about that. Yeah,
you mentioned the range. We've talked before about the various students and communities that can get involved with schools, but then the 60 years old minimum for the Wise Dragons, there's that age range as well. It's a good heart healthy type thing.
It really
you
is.
Don't have to be an Olympic athlete like we've been watching for the past 2 weeks, but it does get you active.
It really gets you active, and it's once you get going and you're paddling, you get in the rhythm with your other teammates. It's a great workout, and but again, it's the kind of workout that about everyone can do, and not many injuries associated with paddling in these dragon boats. So it's really a great thing. It's why we've had dragon boat paddlers that were 90 years old. So it really is something that all ages can do.
Something else that all ages can participate in if they want to. Is running, and the Land Runners Club has some association with you guys as well.
Yeah, we've worked with the Land Runners for quite a while. I'm a part of that group, and it's just obviously it's such a great organization. They bring together runners of all different skill levels, and they get together. They run throughout the community, and we host training runs in the Boathouse District. We have another one coming up on March the 17th. These are free for people to come, just running with a big group, and they'll run different routes, one 7 miles, one 14 miles. You can do as much as you want, or as little as you want, but it's just a great thing to come out and be in a big group, meet some new friends, and ultimately training for the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. And it really kind of goes along, complements our joint mission to just getting people outside and active, and let's make use of these great trails we have. I mean, we have these trails that really come by each of one of our facilities, but the one at the Boathouse District it's continuing to expand. There'll be a new leg of that trail that connects to the river trail that will take you to Lake Hefner, which is that's quite a little haul to get on to run, but it's a great thing that we now have. And if you were to ride your bike or run to Lake Overholser, you're only going to cross like 3 streets. So I mean, it really is a great place, very safe place to run. That's
a good point. It is safe. You're not on the city streets. You're not worried about, excuse me, any other sort of traffic. It's almost sort of secluded up and down the Oklahoma River, but it's good distance. It's good track, good surface. It's a very good place to either
really
run or bike.
Run. Yeah, it really is. And so we're going to continue to try to advocate for people to use those trails, get out, be active, because not only we're working with the land runners, we're also working with Red Coyote, and they do training runs as well. They've been a great partner of ours. They've got the store up at Class and Curve, and then another one in Edmond. But we've got their training runs coming up March 20th and 27th, April 3rd, 10th, and 17th. So. And again, that's just all in the name of getting people on those trails and active.
He mentioned the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Of course, that's coming up later in April. You saw the clip there of people running. It's not always that freezing cold when you get out there and train. In Oklahoma, really towards the beginning of the year, it kind of is. But like days like today, perfect weather.
Perfect weather, and it's fun. A lot of folks, you'd be surprised that you get in this group, and it's really a lot of camaraderie involved when you get up early and you go run. And it might be 20 degrees and people are still showing up. And so, it's all part of that.
That might not include me. But a lot of runners really like the colder weather. He mentioned the next Land Runners Club event on March 17th. Coincidentally, March 17th is a big day for you.
Well, it is a big day. It's St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
But it is opening day for RIVERSPORT Adventures and the Whitewater Center and all of our other activities. We're getting ready for that. I couldn't convince them to turn the water green this year. We talked about it, but maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
But the water is, that's a lot of our focus is we're cleaning the channel walls, vacuuming the pool, just really, sprucing it up for the year and then making some small improvements that we've been wanting to make over the season that will help us, keep the water, the water's always clean because we treat it. We're going to keep working on that water clarity, and that's something that I think people will see improvements on this year. And then additional mountain bike features that are currently under development, which are really cool. We'll maybe have some pictures of those next week because we're closing in on getting that project complete. And then just all the other things. The team was out all weekend long, taking advantage of this better weather, getting because we had a little bit of a slowdown last week with the colder weather, but you didn't want to be out power washing then. But
sleet and freezing rain, not conducive for that now.
Yeah, one of the things that is going to be interesting this year that we're going to be getting into is one of the great things about our course is how adjustable it is, and we can move the rapid blocks around that create different features. And we're constantly sort of tweaking and adjusting. So literally, your experience can be different every time you come out. We're going to be doing some work in what we call our recreational channel. So to make it more conducive for single-person rafts, which are called duckies, that will be a new addition that we make later this spring. So it's a little bit of it's a great step between coming out and going rafting, which is a blast, and then you want to just go, maybe say you want to try it yourself. Well, before getting in that hard plastic kayak or learning how to roll and going through the training to do that, we have these duckies, and so you'll be able, and they're basically big inflatable rafts for 1 or 2 people, and you'll be able to take those down the recreational channel with a guide, but on your own. Cool. So that's something that will be new this year, and we're going to be tweaking and testing that over the spring.
Interesting stuff. We're chatting with Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation, sort of foreshadowing, previewing the upcoming season. Again, that starts March 17th. Various passes, season passes, other information can be found on their website, riversportokc.org, and a lot of the work that goes into it. One last thing that we mentioned off the top, though, before we let you go, the high water, floodwater Rescue Conference also coming up in April 6th through the 8th.
6th through the 8th, yes. That's going to be really a great conference. We're going to have first responders from all over coming in. Very timely as we get into our storm season, and they will learn all kinds of different techniques related to swiftwater rescue training, floodwater rescues, which obviously can be something we have to deal with here and really across the region, or across the country. Other situations like hurricanes that create those fast or high water situations. So they're going to be having a conference in the Whitewater Center, utilizing the facility, having some real hands-on experiences. We're also very fortunate to have Coach Switzer, who will deliver the keynote address at that event, which is really open for everyone. Anybody can come. It's really interesting to learn about what goes on, with these first responders and the swiftwater training techniques, but also just different, what Coach Switzer has been very involved in is training rescue dogs. And Becky, his wife, and Coach Switzer have a Ground Zero Canine facility, they call it, and they're literally taking dogs, whether it be literally mutts or pure breeds and shelter dogs, and they're turning them into rescue dogs. And search and rescue, they're like our superheroes in terms of they go in and they help our first responders in all kinds of situations. And so they're very involved in that. And in fact, a couple of the dogs that they've recently trained are now part of the Oklahoma City Fire Department's program.
They've gone pro.
They've gone pro. So, it's really an incredible program, and we're excited to hear Coach Switzer speak, and you can, anybody can be involved in that.
Interesting stuff. Over the weekend we had storms in Kentucky, and across this area there was some flooding involved, so this is training certainly that is valuable, as you mentioned. That conference coming up April 6th through the 8th. Again, more information on tickets, including those season passes. Right there's the website, riversportokc.org. Mike, always good to see you. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, Dave.